My wife says she either wants to hear either marriage or the rubber duck origin story.
Oh,
Are you ready for this?
Well, which one, marriage or?
The rubber duck origin story for sure.
Oh, so should I tell the whole story?
I mean, yeah, go for it.
Okay, rubber ducks. I guess what you're asking is why I have so many rubber ducks. Can you see any on that shot? I guess the ones that show up the most would probably be the ones behind you here. Brown duck and blue duck. And just standing here, I can spin around in my spot and see, well, a shelf full of about 100 ducks. Then the real important one is over here. This is Howard, and I'll tell the medium story, okay? Because we haven't lost any viewers yet. If the viewership tanks when I tell the duck story, then maybe I'll change subject. But
ooh, people are excited about the rubber.
People are excited about the rubber duck story. Good. It's a good story, I think. It's a bit defining, I think, in my story arc, if you will.
I think it is. It's shaped who you are quite a bit.
Here's the simple story. Here's where it started. I was 15 years old and I joined a band, a metal band, in my hometown, in my neck of the woods. And some of you guys feel free to comment below if your hometown, home area had this kind of thing. But the music scene at that time was one of two things. It was bar bands, or that was for older people, and for the youth, it was just metal. So I was in this band that was trying to do this more melodic, still kind of screamy emo thing. Kind of like A Day to Remember, if anybody knows. We were trying to do that kind of thing. And we were going to play our first show, which I was playing the keyboard in. I later played the bass in this band, and later went on to be in lots of other bands where I did more singing and, guitaring.
Mind you, you had the emo hair.
Oh, I wish I could drop a clip into this. So what happened was my girlfriend dating me at the time, probably only because I was in a band. Matter of fact, she ended up telling a friend of mine that. And this is funny at this point.
Rip.
Because I was 15 at the time. So, of course, it worked that way. But we went to Walmart to get some snacks for the road because the concert was 1.5 miles away. And I was broke. She just got her first job. I was 15. She was 16. So she just started working. Was getting paychecks. We felt rich. We were able to eat Mexican food like once a week.
Oh.
We felt high on life just because she had a job. And I was just itching to turn 16 so I could get a job. But we're at Walmart in my hometown to get snacks for this long drive. And I'm walking through an aisle. It wasn't even the toy aisle. It was something else on the other part of the store. And here sits this duck. This one. And I know it's this one. I have a couple that would look identical to the naked eye, but I know it's this one because he's rotting. Because I've had him and put him through so much.
He's got a crack under his chin.
He's dry rotting.
That broke because we threw him in the ocean in California one time.
Yes, we were in this secluded beach all by ourselves, and I was like, "Get a shot of this, Hannah," and I yeeted it into the ocean. But I was walking through, and I picked it up, and I looked at it, and it had $15 on it. So again, at the time, 15 years old, no money to my name, $15 sounded like $100.
Yeah.
And I looked at her. I looked at my girlfriend Tara, and I said, "Tara, I have to have this." You don't understand. And of course, she's pretty hard nosed about these kind of things. Not into spending money too much. And I was like, "No." I was like, "Let me borrow the money, please. I'll do anything." And she just couldn't understand. And she's like, "What are you gonna do with it?" I was like, "Hannah, it's my first show. I'm gonna put it on top of my amp." And sure enough, I thought I was bad A. I was playing a keyboard through like an amp, and so sure enough, she's like, "Okay, whatever." She was mad at me that I made her spend the money, but she bought it for me. And that night, I put this on top of our speakers, and I played that first show with it. And I think that was the only show I played on keyboard. And I ended up being a bass player in that band forever more. And then, as I said, I was in other bands myself, lead singer, you name it, I did it all. And every show I've ever played, and this was even up until I played music at a church a bunch. Every time I've ever played a musical instrument, this duck has sat on top of my amp. And it got so bad at the point that in my hometown specifically, I'll still go home today and some random chick who you can tell was definitely an emo chick 10 years ago will be like, "Hey, are you that dude with the duck on your..."
You're the duck guy?
Oh, my hometown, those people don't know my name. They remember the duck. That's the moral of the story. So that's pretty much how it happened. Now, why there's so many other ducks here is that I bought that duck. I bought the brown and blue one that I showed you. This is our change duck. All of our spare change goes in there.
I mean, it's appropriately named.
Yeah,
It's
and
got spare change in it. It's change duck.
There's a few other objects around this house that I've bought like that. However, even back then, all of my friends for my birthday, no matter what they ever bought me, there would always be a rubber duck included in that. So I have every duck that anyone else has ever given me, including you guys. I think you guys alone have doubled. I probably had 250 ducks, and I probably have 500 now because you guys have about doubled them in the 2 years of doing this.
It's an intense amount of ducks, not going to lie to you.
And the story really kind of continues because when we started this channel, I kid you not, what we were doing, well, we started like a Facebook page first for live streaming, and I was like, I'm going to go with something Tendo. And I was like, but we need a mascot. And I wanted to do duck, but duck Tendo sounded terrible. And we went to Walmart, and there were these foam Halloween heads, shark heads. You've probably seen them. You've probably seen them on our channel. There was a shark one, and I looked at him and I said, Shark Tendo, we're going to build a costume out of this. Our YouTube channel is going to be Shark Tendo. And then I always regretted it because look at these yellow shelves and all the ducks. Duck imagery would be better for this channel. So, long story short, I ended up naming our second channel where we play games and do other stuff, which you can also find in the description below. I ended up naming that channel Rubber Duck Yellow because why would I not do that? And I think that's most of the story. That's how my existence became forever tied to ducks.